Hey everyone, welcome to a deep dive on something I think we all can relate to, especially if you're a student like me, trying to juggle, well, life and learning, sleep.
We're going to uncover how sleep can actually be your secret weapon, not just for feeling rested, but for reaching your full potential academically and beyond.
We're going way beyond those generic sleep tips you've probably heard a million
Wow,
times.
that's right. We've got some seriously cool insights from leading experts in the field. We're talking like Dr. Andrew Huberman, the neuroscientist, Dr. Michael Bruce, the sleep doctor. We even dove into some research articles and videos from Healthy Gamer GG, Nordic Naturals, After School.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, so this is going to be science-backed, not just like, opinions and stuff. I'm excited.
Absolutely. We're going to break it down so you can actually use this knowledge to make smart choices about your sleep.
Love it. Okay, so basic question first. Most people think of sleep as just one big thing. Is there more to it?
There is, and it's way more fascinating than you might think. We actually cycle through two main phases of sleep: REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement, and non-REM sleep. And both are super important, but for different reasons.
Okay, so it's not just a blob of unconsciousness. Tell me more about these two phases.
So think of non-REM sleep as your basic rest mode. Almost every animal on Earth experiences non-REM sleep. It's all about physical recovery, like recharging your batteries. But REM sleep, now this is where things get really interesting. It's mostly just birds and mammals who experience it. And during this phase, your brain is highly active. It's sorting memories, making connections, even boosting creativity.
Whoa, wait, so REM is like the mental workout happening while our body's chilling out. That's
Yeah.
where those crazy dreams come in?
You got it. The wild, vivid dreams, those usually happen during REM sleep. And what's fascinating is that most animals don't even experience REM. Dr. Alok Sharma, who's a sleep expert, he points out that REM seems to be linked to like higher level brain functions.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so that makes sense then. Like animals that need to be awake all the time to survive.
Exactly, like dolphins and whales. Right. They need to surface to breathe.
Yeah, so they can't just, zone out completely and miss that chance to breathe. Do they just skip REM sleep?
This is where evolution gets really, really clever.
Yeah.
Dolphins and whales, they've actually adapted to sleep with only one half of their brain at a time.
Seriously? That's insane. So they're like half awake, half asleep all the time.
Pretty much. This way they can come up for air and avoid drowning, but they still get the essential sleep their brain needs.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so if dolphins need to be this strategic about sleep, it's got to be even more important for us humans, right?
Mm.
Especially, for students who are trying to focus and learn new things all the time.
You're absolutely right. And that actually leads us to something that can make a huge difference for your productivity: light.
Light. Okay, I'm intrigued. Is this about those sunrise alarm clocks I keep hearing about?
It's related. Dr. Huberman, he explains that viewing sunlight or even like really bright artificial light within the first hour of waking up is crucial.
Oh, okay. So it's not just about like my mood or anything. It's about actual biology.
Exactly. That morning light triggers a surge of cortisol, which is your body's natural wake-up call.
Ah, okay. So it's like an alarm clock for my whole system, not just my brain.
Right. This cortisol surge sets off a cascade of events that regulate your energy levels and your focus throughout the day.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So what if you're one of those people who like struggles to function before noon? Does that mean their cortisol's messed up?
It's very possible. Dr. Huberman explains that a late shifted cortisol pulse, which is common if you're staying indoors all morning, has been linked to things like depression and anxiety and even difficulty sleeping at night. It's all connected.
Wow, okay, that's definitely making me rethink my habit of hitting the snooze button until the last possible second. So light kind of kicks off our day, but we've also got these two sleep phases happening at night, right? Is there like a specific way those cycles work?
There is, and this is where understanding those sleep cycles can really help you feel more rested. Each cycle lasts about 90 minutes, and we go through several of these cycles throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Bruce, he uses this great analogy. He compares it to eating like a properly cooked roti. You want to enjoy the whole thing, let it settle, not just like take a bite and run. Right.
Haha, I love that analogy. So waking up mid-cycle with an alarm is like biting into a half-cooked roti. I've definitely experienced that, like groggy, jerked awake feelings. Is that what's happening?
Exactly. Waking up mid-cycle disrupts your blood pressure, your heart rate, and it can leave you feeling totally disoriented. It's like your body's saying, hey, I wasn't done with that sleep cycle. I needed those extra few minutes.
Oh, man. No wonder I can't focus for like the first few hours of the day sometimes. So we've got these 90-minute cycles. And light plays a key role in setting our internal clock. What else is happening during those precious hours of shut-eye?
This is where things get really interesting, especially for students. It turns out that while you're sleeping, your brain is actually doing some serious housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Like tidying up for company. What does that even mean for my brain?
Well, did you know that sleep is actually essential for brain detoxification?
Wait, brain detoxification. That sounds intense, like a juice cleanse for my brain or something.
Haha, it's not that extreme, but the concept is similar. Dr. Sharma explains that while we sleep, our brains have this special system that removes waste products.
Okay, so like a nightly power wash for our brains. Sign me up. But seriously, what's the science behind this?
It's called the glymphatic system, and it's essentially the brain's waste removal crew. During the day, all that thinking and learning and focusing, it generates byproducts that need to be cleared out.
So kind of like taking out the trash, but for my brain.
Exactly. And if we don't get enough sleep, our brains basically become like a cluttered desk, piled high with mental junk.
Oh no. So that's why I can't think straight sometimes. It's like my brain is overflowing with, I don't know, mental clutter.
That's a great way to put it. This buildup of waste can actually impair your cognitive function, making it harder to focus, learn, and remember things. It can even stifle your creativity.
Wow, okay. That puts a whole new spin on the importance of sleep, especially for students. It's not just about feeling rested, it's about keeping our brains clean and functioning at their best. But what happens if we, consistently don't get enough sleep? Are we talking more than just feeling tired?
Unfortunately, yes. Chronic sleep deprivation, it's actually linked to some serious health risks, and it's something students need to be particularly aware of.
Okay, I'm listening. What kind of risks are we talking about?
Well, Dr. Sharma highlights a few, and they're pretty alarming. Studies have shown a connection between chronic sleep deprivation and an increased risk of cancer.
Cancer. Whoa, okay, that's scary. How strong is that link?
Well, in one study on rats, those who were sleep deprived experienced a 200-fold increase in tumor growth.
200-fold. Are you serious? I had no idea sleep deprivation could have such a huge impact on our health.
And it's not just cancer. Chronic sleep deprivation can also weaken your immune system, making you more susceptible to things like colds and flu, especially during exam season when you're already stressed. That's the last thing you need.
Whew, tell me about it. So we've got cancer and a weakened immune system. What else? What other long-term risks are we looking at?
Well, chronic sleep deprivation has also been linked to an increased likelihood of developing diabetes and heart disease down the line. It's like you're borrowing time now, but potentially paying a really hefty price later.
Okay, that's definitely some sobering information. I think a lot of us, especially students, fall into this trap of thinking we can sacrifice sleep to get ahead, but it sounds like that's a really dangerous gamble.
It is. Cutting back on sleep might seem like a way to gain more time now, but it's a risky trade-off with some potentially devastating consequences.
So sleep isn't just about feeling our best. It's about protecting our long-term health and setting ourselves up for success in every area of our lives.
Exactly. It impacts everything from your academic performance to your relationships to your overall well-being.
Okay, I'm officially making sleep a priority from now on. I'm sold. But before we move on to, practical tips and stuff, what about power naps? Are those a good way to catch up on lost sleep or boost energy in the middle of the day?
That's a great question and one we can definitely delve into. Power naps can be a really valuable tool, especially for students.
Yes, because, let's be honest, those late-night study sessions are sometimes unavoidable.
Absolutely. So the key is understanding how to use them effectively. They can actually be even more effective than caffeine for boosting alertness and cognitive function.
Really? More effective than coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm really interested.
Okay, but only if you do them right.
Okay, tell me everything. I'm all ears.
But only if you do them right, they can actually be even more effective than caffeine for boosting alertness and cognitive function.
Really? More effective than coffee? Okay, now I'm really interested.
But only if you do them right. It's all about tapping into those natural brain cycles we were talking about. Power naps work best when they're short and strategic.
Okay, so how short are we talking? Is there a magic number for the perfect power nap?
There is aim for 20 to 30 minutes. Anything less than 20 minutes, and you're probably only going to experience the very lightest stages of sleep. Not really enough to make a difference. But if you go over 30 minutes, you risk entering those deeper sleep stages, and that's when you might wake up feeling groggy.
Ah, that makes sense. It's like finding that sweet spot where you get the benefits of a reset without feeling like you need another nap to recover from your nap.
Exactly. And here's a pro tip. Set an alarm, It's always better to be woken up by an alarm than to oversleep and experience what's called sleep inertia, that feeling of being kind of disoriented and sluggish.
Yeah, noted. I'm definitely guilty of oversleeping my naps and feeling worse afterward.
Yeah.
So we've got the ideal length, but what about timing? Does it matter when you take a power nap?
Timing is crucial. The ideal window is between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. This aligns with our natural circadian rhythm. Remember that dip in energy we often experience in the afternoon?
Oh yeah, that's when I usually reach for my second or third cup of coffee.
Exactly. Well, that afternoon slump is a natural part of our sleep-wake cycle, and it's the perfect time to sneak in a power nap.
So instead of fighting that afternoon slump with caffeine, I can actually use it to my advantage by taking a strategic power nap. I'm starting to see the genius here.
It's all about working with your biology, not against it. Now let's talk about some other strategies that can make a big difference for students, especially when it comes to studying and retaining information. Sleep isn't just about rest, it's also about consolidation.
Consolidation. What does that mean in terms of sleep?
It means that what you do before you sleep can actually impact how well you learn and remember information. Your brain uses those sleep cycles to process and store what you've taken in during the day.
So what's the best way to take advantage of this? Should I be like cramming in some last-minute studying right before bed?
Not cramming, but a quick review can be incredibly helpful. Spending just 10 to 15 minutes revisiting key concepts or formulas before you sleep can significantly improve recall.
Interesting. Why does that work?
When you review material right before bed, your brain is primed to process and store that information during those crucial sleep cycles. It's like giving your brain a head start on the learning process.
So it's like preloading my brain for optimal learning while I sleep. I like it. Any other study tips we can tie into this whole sleep science thing?
Here's one that might surprise you. Try studying in a different location each day.
Wait, really? I thought consistency was key when it comes to studying. Why would changing locations help?
It might seem counterintuitive, but varying your study environment can actually enhance memory formation. When you study in the same place all the time, your brain can start to associate that location with specific information. But by changing your environment, you force your brain to create stronger and more distinct memories.
So it's like giving my brain a mental workout, challenging it to adapt and remember things more effectively.
Precisely. And speaking of workouts, regular exercise can also be a powerful tool for improving sleep quality.
Okay, so we need to get enough sleep review, our material before bed, switch up our study spots, A&D exercise regularly. Got it. Anything else I need to add to my already overwhelming to-do list?
Well, there's one more important factor we need to address, your sleep environment.
Okay, you're talking about the basics, right? Making sure my room is dark and quiet.
Those are definitely essential,
Okay.
but there's more to it than just darkness and silence.
All right, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
One often overlooked aspect is temperature. Ideally, your bedroom should be slightly cool. Have you ever noticed how you sleep better when it's cool?
I have. It's much harder to fall asleep when it's hot and stuffy.
Right.
What's the science behind that?
Our core body temperature naturally drops as we fall asleep. Having a cool room helps facilitate this process.
So it's like giving my body a gentle nudge toward sleep mode. Makes sense. Besides temperature, what else matters?
A comfortable mattress and pillows are crucial, of course. Blackout curtains to block out any light are also a game changer. And try to avoid electronic devices in the hour before bed. The blue light emitted from those devices can interfere with your melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep.
So it's all about creating a sanctuary for sleep, a space that's designed to promote relaxation and minimize distractions.
Exactly. Your bedroom should be a haven for rest and rejuvenation.
All right, I'm ready to give my sleep environment a makeover. Any other tips for creating the ultimate sleep sanctuary?
One final suggestion is to incorporate calming rituals into your bedtime routine.
Like what? Give me some ideas.
Taking a warm bath or shower before bed can help relax your muscles and signal to your body that it's time to wind down.
I'm a big fan of pre-bed baths. Definitely helps me de-stress.
And if baths aren't your thing, try reading a book, listening to calming music, or doing some gentle stretching. Anything that helps you unwind and disconnect from the day's stresses.
So it's all about finding those activities that help you transition from go, go, go mode to, it's time for bed mode.
Precisely. The key is to create a consistent bedtime routine that signals to your body and mind that it's time for sleep.
Okay, I'm feeling more relaxed already just thinking about it. We've covered so much ground on the practical side of things. But before we wrap up, I'm curious to zoom back in on the science. We talked about all the benefits of sleep, but what's actually happening in our brains and bodies when we sleep that makes it so essential?
That's a great question. It all comes down to cellular level repair and rejuvenation. Think of sleep as a nightly tune-up for your entire system.
So it's like taking our bodies to the mechanic for regular maintenance.
In a way, yes. During sleep, your cells have a chance to repair damage, replenish energy stores, and clear out waste products. And this is happening in every organ system, from your muscles to your immune system to your brain.
Wow. So it's not just about feeling rested, it's about giving our bodies the downtime they need to function optimally.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the brain specifically. We talked about that brain detoxification process, but what else is happening in our brains while we sleep?
Well, your brain is busy consolidating memories, strengthening neural connections, and even boosting creativity. It's like your brain is working overtime while you're sleeping, making you smarter and more imaginative.
That's incredible. It's like our brains are having these amazing behind-the-scenes parties while we're sound asleep.
It's truly remarkable, and it underscores the importance of making sleep a top priority, especially for students. It's an investment in your overall well-being and your future success.
Okay, I'm convinced sleep is not the enemy. It's our secret weapon.
Yeah.
But before we sign off, any final words of wisdom for our listeners, especially those students who are feeling the pressure to pull all-nighters and sacrifice sleep for their studies?
My advice is simple. Remember that sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's as important as eating healthy and exercising regularly. By prioritizing sleep, you investing in your health, your well-being, and your future success.
Well said. Sleep is not something to feel guilty about, it's something to celebrate. By understanding the science behind it, we can unlock its full potential.
Exactly. Embrace the power of sleep and watch your academic, physical, and mental performance soar.
All right, I think that's a perfect note to end on. But before we go, we've got one more deep dive coming up. We're going to explore the fascinating connection between sleep and creativity. So stick around, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and you know what we're diving into now.
Sleep and creativity, a connection that's, well, pretty fascinating.
I've heard all those stories, right? Like musicians having these amazing song ideas pop into their heads while they're dreaming. Is there any truth to that? Can we really boost our creativity just by getting enough sleep?
Yeah, it's not just a myth. There's actually growing evidence that those anecdotes aren't just coincidence. Research is showing that sleep plays a key role in memory consolidation, yeah, but also in creative problem solving.
Whoa, so it's like a two-for-one deal. How does that work? Is our brain like secretly composing symphonies while we sleep?
Maybe not full symphonies, but something pretty amazing is definitely going on. So, during sleep, our brains are busy, right? Processing, integrating all that information we've taken in during the day. The key here is that it helps us make connections between ideas that might seem completely unrelated when we're awake, and those connections can spark those aha moments, those bursts of insight.
So our brains are like working on these puzzles in the background, just fitting pieces together in new and interesting ways while we sleep. That's pretty cool.
Exactly. And REM sleep, that phase where we have the most vivid dreams, that seems to be especially important for this creative process.
So those sometimes weird, sometimes crazy dreams could actually be a sign that our brains are hard at work coming up with new ideas. I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. And even if you don't remember your dreams, the cognitive processes happening during REM sleep, those can still benefit your creativity.
That's incredible. So even when we're not consciously aware of it, our brains are constantly working to like boost our creative potential while we sleep. I guess that's another reason why sleep is so crucial, especially for us students.
For sure. It's not just about, acing those exams. It's also about nurturing that creative side, unlocking your full cognitive capacity.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from the science of sleep cycles, the whole power nap thing, and now this, the link between sleep and creativity. I feel like my brain is full.
It's been a blast exploring all this with you.
And with you, our awesome listeners. Hopefully you've picked up some valuable info, maybe even some practical tips to level up your own sleep game. The big takeaway: prioritize sleep. Don't treat it like an afterthought. It's an investment, not just in your health and well-being, but in your ability to really thrive in, well, everything.
Absolutely. Sleep well, everyone. May all your dreams be filled with inspiration and tons of creative breakthroughs.
Love it. Until next time, keep on diving deep into whatever fascinates you.